Y'all already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Prison fighting. Are there rules to prison fighting? Is there a guideline? Are there any unseen laws? What you need to know. The do's and the don'ts. I'm going to give y'all some stories today on when the rules just completely go out the window. Y'all know I done seen it now, so let's relive it. Now, for me, when it came to getting into squabbles in prison, even in jail, even back to the detention center, it was never a black or white thing, a white or white thing, white or Spanish thing. It was a disrespect thing. It was one of those things where I got along with everybody. I was cool with everybody. But regardless of your color, if we had issues, we had issues. We take care of them. Years down the road, not even years, even in the detention center, that's not what I would always see. And this doesn't go to everybody or apply to everybody. So I don't want everybody to feel like I'm singling anybody out. I'm just going to speak on my experience. When it comes to white guys fighting, white guys really getting down and holding it down, there's not a lot of that. It's just not. I've seen more white guys turn down fights, buck fights, get disrespected, and just walk off as a bitch. And myself, other guys I know wouldn't stand for it. It's going down. Guys in general, and I tried to decipher why it's like this when it comes to white guys. A white guy will get to argue with a black dude or a Spanish dude or something, and a lot of times, a lot of these dudes, when it's time to fight, they talk their way out of it, or they won't go in the cell, or they let somebody just disrespect them to the point that you're like, looking like, damn, homeboy, you should have been took off on him. Like, what is you waiting on? And all I can really chalk it up to is a large majority of the white dudes that are locked up aren't locked up on violent charges. I would say half, if not more, are in there behind drug-related charges or something they did under the influence, whether it be alcohol, drugs, whatever. You know, that shit, that changes people. And anybody can turn into an animal when they're half a bottle deep of liquor, or they in 8, 10 Xannies. Anybody can turn into that big tough guy, commit a crime, and get sent off. Well, then you got other dudes in there that was really about that life in the street. These black dudes, Spanish dudes, all different types of dudes that didn't have to be high, didn't have to be drunk, was in them streets, was violent in them streets, and they were about that life. Now you take this little white guy that's in there for copping heroin, who's never really he's seen fights only because he's been in jail, but he's never really been involved in one. That was never his life. You put him face to face with somebody that wants to fight, usually they're going to back down. I've seen situations where them scared dudes turn around and hurt somebody really bad, or they win that first fight, and then from there it's boom, 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 boom. They're rumbling all the time. They got something in them they didn't know they had. These are just that's just some of the breakdown on what you're going to see. Some of the first fight I'm going to give y'all, and I'm going to give you some of the rules and what goes on. And I can speak on this because I'm not gang affiliated in no way. I know guys that are in gangs of pretty much every set there is, but I never personally wasn't a gang member. I never did that in prison. Wasn't my thing. Hey, to whoever did, that's cool. Just wasn't my thing. Generally, when it comes to gangs, they don't let gang member from one gang and a gang member from another gang fight. They figure it out on this side. They figure it out on this side. Whoever's in charge of these guys comes together. They talk and they iron it out. Well, they had two dudes, man, a Crip dude and a Blood dude, that these two dudes hated each other. At one point, they were in the cell. They had to be separated out the cell before it got to that. The main dudes get tired of hearing about this shit, and he's like, I guess they're on some, what y'all got going on is going to end us going to war with these dudes, when it's really just y'all two that aren't seeing eye to eye for whatever reason it was. So they tell them, look, we're going to let y'all, you know, homie and cuz, y'all going to shoot the fade, man. That's what it is. Y'all shoot the one, we'll stand by, won't nobody jump in, and it goes from there. We wait till we go out on the rec yard that evening. It's so hot out there. It's summer. It's dusty. The sun is baking your ass like a potato chip. It is hot. There is nowhere to go for shade. You're sweating the moment you hit the yard. Nobody's got a shirt on. Dudes are wetting rags and towels before they go in the yard to put on their head to stay, you know, somewhat hydrated. They determine, hey, these two dudes, Crip dude and this blood dude, are going to fight. And like I said, I don't know the rules. I'm just telling you what I saw. They take it beside the building, and they've already agreed beforehand that you don't kick him when he's down. If he drops, you let him get up, and y'all square up, and y'all go again until one of y'all either says, all right, enough, or I'm done. But do not kick. And this is the blood dude telling the Crip dude, he's like, do not kick my brother when he's on the ground. Do not. If he hits the ground, you know, you back up. Don't kick him. If y'all want to take it to the ground, y'all can take it to the ground, but don't just be kicking him while he's laying there, right? They get to rumbling. Boom, 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 boom. They're going at it. Good 30 seconds. Don't sound like a long time. That can be a lifetime when you're heated, your adrenaline's pumping, and 30 seconds of not being a trained fighter and just going, it feels like a long, long time. These two dudes are thumping. Crip dude catches the blood dude. Boom! Drops him. Backs up. Lets him get up. You know, you can tell that when he got dropped, they kind of left him a little woozy. They go to rumbling again. Crip dude drops the blood dude. Bong! Second time. Second time he drops him. He runs up on him, I guess, in the heat of the moment, in the anger, and tries to kick at him. When he does, a bunch of blood step forward and shove this dude back. The moment they put their hands on him, now all his brothers got to react. Everybody starts to rush forward, and the two dudes is like, the main dude's like, nah. Back up. Yo, don't try to kick him again, right? Dude is still trying to get up off the ground. Crip dude runs up and kicks him right in his face. Boom! When he kicked him in his face, I thought that it was going to be all these bloods and all these Crips were just going to pile up on top of this dude and beat the shit out this dude and fight each other. It was going to be a full-fledged gang fight. Not what happened at all. The Crip dudes ended up snatching their homeboy, the Crip dude that had just kicked the blood dude, and slung him backwards over into the corner, told him the fight was over, and they commenced to violating him right there on the spot for not listening, not doing what he was told, for kicking his dude when he was on the ground. The Crip dudes went ahead and beat the shit out of their homeboy. Just like that, the fight with him and the blood was over, and he had to fight his own set for jumping out there and, you know, not obeying the rules. Some crazy things you're going to learn when it comes to this. So that's one thing for you. When it comes to the gangs, they got the, you know, you don't kick somebody when they're down policy. Don't know if that's nationwide. Like I told you, I'm just telling you what I've seen here. Number two, you think that going in a cell with somebody, y'all are just going to fight. If I had to base what type of style or what you're going to see the most of when it comes to fighting in prison, you see more wrestling than you see anything. You see it start off with fists, and almost every single time it ends up with two dudes locked up. One dude's got a dude in a chokehold. One dude's mounted on top of a dude, beating his ass. Wrestling is definitely something that if you don't know how to do, and you do a lot of fighting, you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to get out of holds. You're going to learn how to flip people, scoop people, slam people, get people up off of you. There's a lot of that and I'm going to give y'all a story to go with it. So we had a younger dude, and this is a younger white dude, and he always talked about he was a wrestling champ. He was a wrestling champ. He was a wrestling champ. It's all he ever bragged about. And he would have like other dudes in there that said they used to wrestle. They would go in the cell and they would wrestle, just horse playing. And he would, you know, sure enough, ball them up, get them in a hold, put them in some type of lock they couldn't get out of. Dudes be screaming, tap the ground. And that's another one. When somebody says, I'm done, or they start tapping, let them go. You don't keep beating on them now. Maybe if it's your celly, you do. If you're that angry, you do. But for the most part, you let them go. Once they say, I've had enough, I'm done, you got it, you win. You can, hey, tell me, say I'm a pussy, I'm a pussy. All right, I'm a pussy, I'm a pussy. All right, I'll let you go. But this dude had been in the cell, and he had wrestled a whole bunch of dudes, right? He gets to arguing with this other white dude one day, and this dude wasn't no wrestler. Dude told him, man, I don't care nothing about that wrestling shit. I will knock your ass out. Like, we go in the cell, I ain't wrestling with you. I'm going to fight you and beat your ass. So dude tells him, all right, come on. You know, they go in the cell. As soon as they go in there, dude rushes and tries to scoop him. And just like he would, you know, in any wrestling match or whatever he had been doing with these other dudes. And when he rushed, dude hit him with a knee. Boom! Split his shit. I'm talking up over his eyebrow. That first knee just split him. Dude stumbled backwards. And all that wrestling shit that he knew that he had used in the past went right out the window because he never got a chance to use it. He was leaking, telling dude, all right, you got it, you got it. He was cut bad. He didn't know how bad he was cut. He just knew that he was leaning forward and dude had him, which is hitting him in the back of his head. And he was so worried about this cut that he wasn't even really trying to fight. He was trying to get, you know, telling his homeboys and them, man, get the door open, get the door open, get the door open. By the time they get the door open, this dude has done sat down on this boy's chest and has commenced to beating his face in. That knee took all that fight out of him. It took all the training he had in him, all the skill he had in him, right out the window. It wouldn't be long after he got into that fight, he got to argue with somebody and he was still healing up. It was still scabbed all up around his eyebrow where they had put the butterfly stitches and all that. He gets to arguing with another dude, and this go round, he gets his thing off. Dude tells him, don't make me beat your ass like the last dude did. Talking all that wrestling shit, and you done got your ass handed to you. Like, come on, man, stop with the dumb shit. You don't want to go in the cell with me. You think homeboy did you bad, I'm going to do you real dirty. I'm going to drag you in that cell. They go in the cell. Dude was not scared to fight. This wrestling dude was not scared to fight. They go in the cell right from the gate. Dude shoots for his cuffs. He shoots low. It's the wrestling dude now, right? Picks dude up. And it's one of those world star, you know, videos where the dude gets slammed and you go, oh. He scooped dude, picked him up, and like almost like reverse DDT'd him. Dropped him right into the concrete. Boom, right in the middle of the cell. Dude's arms flail out. Dude gets behind him, wraps his legs around his legs, wraps his arms, wraps his neck, and just leans back with all his pressure, and he's choking this dude. This dude is tapping the floor, tapping, like, he can't say anything because he's being choked. His legs are, you know, immobile. His arms are out the question because the holder boy's got him, man. And he's tapping, 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 tapping. And dude just laid there holding him until he went to sleep. Till he didn't tap no more. Eventually, let him go, rolled him over, got up, came out the cell. Fight was over. Dude, like after that, walked around like he was hot shit. He ended up getting into a couple more fights, won some, lost some. But that's number 2, man. There's gonna be a lot of, it ain't gonna be just like you're in the streets just trading punches. You're gonna run across dudes from all type of lives. I've met dudes in there that trained every day that knew all types of fighting styles. Dudes that knew martial arts. They knew that MMA, that UFC, boxing. Don't go in there thinking this is gonna be some street fight and you and this dude are gonna just go throw hands. Because you might be in there with somebody that actually knows how to fight or can predict your next move and get your ass handed all the way to you and made look stupid in that cell. Now, for the most part, dudes getting jumped is more of a gang thing. You don't see a whole lot of it. You will see it, but you don't see a whole lot of just cliques jumping dudes. If you do, it's usually a bunch of gang members that'll jump on one dude, or 2 or 3 gang members that'll go at one dude. But for the most part, if me and you got an issue and you got homeboys and I got homeboys and none of us are gang affiliated, we can go at it. Everybody else is just going to kind of play the background, watch how it plays out, and then it is, what it is. There's another situation one time, and it's two black dudes beefing, and both of them got their squads. One dude's from Petersburg. He's got Petersburg homeboys. The other boy's from Richmond, down Mosby area, like Accommodation Street out that area. Mosby and, Petersburg, they getting ready to go at it. And this is just these 2 dudes. Not everybody else, just these 2 dudes of yap, to the point that now they want to fight over a tunk game, over playing tunk at the table. And we need to do a story on when playing cards goes bad, because them shits, there's so much content there, so many videos, so many stories I remember. Just stay away from the card table. Anyway, these 2 dudes, they can't get along over this tunk game, and they decide to go in the cell. Well, the dudes from Petersburg telling the homeboy, like, man, you dead wrong. You need to apologize to dude, man. He called him out his name, starting a bunch of shit. And these dudes were cool with these other dudes also, right? So he's like, nah, fuck that. We're going to go in the cell. We're going to go in the cell. The Richmond boy goes in the cell. Petersburg boy goes in the cell. A couple Richmond dudes stand by the door to make sure don't nobody run up in there and their homeboy, kind of to just watch the fight and oversee everything that happens. People get nosy. They want to see the fight. These boys go in there and they rumble. And when I mean they rumble, there ain't no dropping on the ground. This is just straight fist. They're tagging each other up. But, the Petersburg boy is getting the best of the Richmond boy. That's the facts, man. I hate to say it. I love my city. I love Richmond, but Petersburg boy was getting his thing off, right? Boy from Richmond eventually gets winded, and he didn't even get dropped. He just dropped to one knee because he was so tired. And he was like, all right, hold on, man. Hold on. Hold on? What you mean, hold on? Dude grabs him by the back of his shirt and just starts hitting him. While this dude's on his knees, hitting him. At the moment that he said, hold on, dude should have chilled. I know when you get angry like that and you really want to do something to somebody, there ain't no hold on, chill. Like, I'm gonna beat your ass in here. And that's exactly what time, dude was on. But the Richmond boys felt some type of way that their homeboy was in there losing, first of all. He's done dropped. And now he's telling dude, hold on, man, hold on. Like, let me get back up. Dude just keeps wailing on him. Richmond boys open the door, run up in there, start beating old boy's ass. They grab the Petersburg boy up. You got to think, this is a small cell. There's not a lot of space in here. You come in, the bunks are on the back wall. There's a lower bunk and a top bunk, a toilet bowl and a sink, and like a metal countertop mounted to the wall. They go in there, and now it's 4-on-1. They're beating the hell out of this Petersburg boy. Other Petersburg dudes, they weren't standing far off, maybe another 5-6 feet from the door. They run in there. Now you got a cell with like 7-8 people fighting in it. And there's so many people trying to fight in this confined space that there's dudes reaching in the cell door, tagging whoever they can. The guards in the booth see it. All the people come running in. Everybody locked down. These dudes are still in the cell fighting. And it's so stupid when you fight like that, because you can't really cock all the way back. Cocking back to throw a punch, you might elbow one of your homeboys in the face. You're not going to get a full swing. So dudes are in there just going at it. The men in black come in, grab the dudes, spray them, break them all up, handcuff them all, just like that. All them guys went to the hole because the one guy wouldn't allow the other guy to get up. Last and final thing I'm going to give y'all on these prison fights is know your surroundings. Know where you're fighting at. It's not always a good idea when somebody calls you in their cell for you to go in their cell. You need to fight. If you're called out, hey, win, lose, or draw, fight. But a lot of times going in somebody else's cell can be very dangerous. They've got home field advantage. You don't know what this dude might have in this cell. You don't know what this dude's got planned. And most of all, I learned this up at CFCF. You never know who somebody might be hiding in their cell. True story. Crazy times. Shit was messed up. But let's get into it. Now, CFCF used to have ping pong tables. I don't know if they still got the ping pong tables in there. Back in the late 90s, mid 2000s, they still had the ping pong tables. Me and dude get to arguing over a ping pong game. He's swearing he made a point. I'm arguing with him. Hell no. You know what I mean? We're just arguing over dumb shit, over a ping pong game. And one thing about the F is when you come in, a lot of times, if there's no open cells, they put you in the multi-purpose room. The multi-purpose room's got several bunks in it, one toilet, one sink, a bunch of men. You know, this ain't a two-man cell. There's a bunch of guys in here, right? When you would come out the hall, if there were no open cells, they put you in the multi-purpose room unless you had somebody cool in there you clicked with that would be like, hey, you can come in the cell with me, put my cellie in the multi-purpose room. Well, I've been to the CFCF so many times now that I knew how the multi-purpose rooms worked. I've been in a ton of them, all the way from, you know, C13 up to, you know, B22. All across the F, I've been in multi-purpose rooms, which is a room on the top tier situated in the corner, right? Me and this dude get to arguing over this ping pong game, right? And I'm trying to slap him with the ping pong paddle. I done turned it sideways, and we're going back and forth around the table. I'm going to smack his ass with this ping pong paddle, right? And this dude is like taking off from me. I'm going around the table like, he done called me a bitch, some more words. I'm like, bitch. Try to crack his ass with the ping pong table with the paddle. He won't fight me. So he goes up to the multi-purpose room. I try to head up the stairs, and my homeboys and them grab me. They're like, Jay, nah. You can't. The guard has already seen y'all arguing. She's yelling, stop. Like, you can't do this shit right now, man. You trying to go the hole, you crashing out. I said, yeah, you right. So dude goes up to the multi-purpose room. We both lived in the multi-purpose room. And he's standing in the doorway, like looking at me, talking shit to other dudes walking by. Soft ass white boy this, he won't come up here, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, my homeboys are telling me, look, we know you're going to fight him. We know you're going to rumble him. Let it die down a little bit. Let something else, because shit was always popping off. Let the guard deal with something else, and then you can go handle your business, but don't go running up in there right now, man. You're gonna draw too much heat. You know what I mean? You're going to get us locked down. You're going to end up going a hole. We ain't going to see you. You can come out in another part of the jail. I'm like, you right. Hours go by. Now I'm starting to feel this type of way, like I'm not going to my cell. I live in the multi-purpose cell. He lives in the multi-purpose cell. I'm going to my cell. That's where my stuff's at, right? I go upstairs again, my homeboys, and I'm like, chill, you know what I mean? Don't go up there. I'm like, my shit's in the cell. What you mean don't go up there? I'm not going to my cell. They're like, well, don't do anything stupid, right? So they tell me, look, just chill, man. Give it a little bit more time and everything's all right. So, dude, I see him walking around talking to his homeboys. I walk off of mine. By now, I'm not paying attention to him. I'm not paying attention to his homeboys and none of them. And maybe 30 minutes passes, and he's in the doorway, and he's like, yo, what's up, pussy? You coming up or what? Like, you got to think maybe an hour has passed now. I'm sitting out in the day room. I said, man, fuck this shit. I got to have him. Like, I'm going up there. Here's where I messed up, and this is why I tell you always know your surroundings and where you're going and what you're dealing with. Even though that was my cell, it was his cell as well. Other guys coincided in that cell. The first red flag I didn't pick up on, and this is common, dudes will hang a sheet from the top bunk to block the bottom bunk. So if you sleep, you get like that little privacy. The sheet hanging down kind of creates a wall. So now you got like a 3-foot cubby hole you're sleeping in. I get up to the multi-purpose room, and he backs up in the cell, and I glimpse around. I don't see anybody, and the multi-purpose room had to be locked by key. You know what I mean? It's called turnkey. That's why we call the guards up there turnkeys, because they got to come by and lock that bitch with a key. I run up in the multi-purpose cell, rush dude, we go to fighting. No sooner we go to fighting, the sheet comes down. There's 2 dudes behind the sheet sitting on the bunk. They jump off the bunk and commence to banking me. I mean, at first I I thought I was doing my thing. Me and dude was going. I was cool with it. He was catching me. I was catching him. We were just airing it out, getting this shit out the way. Friendly fade. We're going to shoot the knuckles. Don't ever call me a bitch again. Win, lose, or draw. We're going to fight. These dudes hiding on this bunk, curled up in this bunk with his sheet, snatch his sheet down, jump out. And these three dudes start banking me, right? Only thing that saved me, my homeboys, my Southwest homies, dudes in there. And these ain't even dudes I know from the street. But you got like North Philly, Southwest, Kensington. You got all these different spots in Philly that if you're from that area, you pretty much click with your section of Philly, right? My Southwest homeboys running there. And by now, the guard is already, she sees the commotion. The multi-purpose room's got glass on the front of it, like just thick glass, so you can see up in there. She sees us fighting. My homeboys run up in there, and we just start thumping. Now, there's much more space in this multi-purpose room than there is the average cell. So we're actually able to rumble in there, you know what I mean? And my homeboys were deeper than his homeboy. Big truck, pause. So it's a no-brainer. We smashed them dudes out. But the lesson in what I'm telling you is you don't ever, even Shang Tsung said it in The Art of War, you have your enemies come to you. You don't go to them because you never know what they may have waiting, what they may have up their sleeve. I should have had dude fight me in one of my homeboys' cells because my homeboy wouldn't allow nobody to be in there, or one of his homeboys' cells, and my homeboys could have checked to make sure nobody was in there. But because I got so anxious, got so antsy, I'm calling me a bitch, standing in the door, running his mouth, I wanted you to know I was ready for the get down. I ran up in there, I ended up getting banked. My dudes, much love to all of Philly, salute 215. Big love to SWP in South Philly, We banged out with them dudes. We won the fight. All of us, not all of us, most of us caught a couple little good ones here and there, had some bruises, some much, couple little cuts and stuff, just the average stuff that comes with it. But always know where you're fighting, who your enemy is, and that where you're about to go. It'd be like you and somebody beefing on the streets and them telling you, well, meet me behind this store. Man, you better not carry your ass behind that store. For all you know, we could have 10 carloads of people back there with guns. You tell them, nah, you meet me here or I'll see you when I see you. Yeah, this is just some of the do's and don'ts. Some stories on fights that took place and things that made them end way worse than they could have because people don't respect the rules or the unwritten code that comes with prison. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's Monday. I missed the hell out of y'all. I'm waiting to do this 100K live, but I want the plaque to come in so I can unwrap that and show y'all what all of our hard work has done, what y'all watching me, subscribing to me, believing in me, my dream, my reality, my past, how all these things have turned into something. And I want the same for you guys. I want to see you guys get out there and get it. And that's why I'm waiting for this plaque to show up, because that is a major achievement. To some, it might not be nothing, but to me and the life I grew up, living and that I have lived, it is monumental. I got a lot of dope hats I want to give away. You tell me if you want it signed, whatever, and that's what we'll do. As soon as YouTube reaches out and they ship my plaque comes in, I'm going to mount it in the back of the truck. So it's in every video. It'll stay mounted in the back of my truck. And that's what it is. But please listen to me. The one thing you should get from everything I just told you is stay out of lockup. Do everything you can in this life to avoid getting locked up. If you find you're in a situation where you're struggling or you got something going on, always try to find another way. And if you have to do what you have to do, then you have to do what you have to do. I get it. I've been there. But please always look for another way. Hope y'all enjoyed the stories. But y'all know, man, these detention centers, jails, prison, these facilities, they're all just crazier worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, Because y'all still watching me. Y'all know how we do. Salute.